that we're having these conversations and that we're not holding back, right?
Yeah.
We're putting it all out there. So we're not just here to give you some theory out of a book that we read. No, we're also here to share some of our own stories. And so our first episode covered the mindset, and wow, again, I cannot stop saying this. It is so important for founders, male or female, to get out of their own way if they really want to scale significantly. And so, if you haven't watched our first episode, please go back and watch it. There's so many gems in that first episode. Diane, over to you.
Well, welcome everybody who's watching. And yeah, like you said, it was like a mind blowing episode, the first one. And we're going to continue it on this week's topic on marketing because a lot of mistakes are made in the marketing segment. Um, One of the things is visibility. One of the things is the social media platforms, your branding. So I think we have like a really good episode ahead of us today.
Yeah, love, love, love that we're talking marketing today. This is obviously my wheelhouse, as
Yeah.
most of you probably know by now. My first business was an ad agency. And so, yeah, you're right, Diane. There's a lot of mistakes that early stage founders make when it comes to marketing. But when I look back 20 years ago, 26-year-old me sitting in my mother's lounge, trying to create that visibility that you're talking about, was a lot more difficult than it is now, right? I think
Yeah.
founders have so many tools at their fingertips now versus 20 years ago. So, Diane, what are some of the top five or three things that you've seen founders do wrong or don't pay enough attention to when it comes to marketing?
Yeah. Well, one of the first things that I see a lot is they don't pay any attention to their branding. They don't really create a logo or a color set or a branding kit in any kind of way. So their messaging is all over the place. When they email with people or when they post things online, it's like they just go out there instead of thinking, how do I want my brand? How do I want my business to be represented online? How do I want to come across? Do I want to be professional? And it's not like professional level, you need 100 people working for you, but like we talked in the mindset episode, you also need to take yourself serious and your business. So you just need a branding. You need to make sure everything looks great. That's one. And then the second one I see a lot happen is they don't know how to be visible online. They don't know how to choose the right platforms to be visible to their audience, or they just accumulate all their friends and family to look at their lives and to like their posts, but that's not their audience. So that's also a mistake I see made a lot. And for the third one, yeah, I think it all comes down in the end to choosing your strategy, how you want to market your business. I'm a lot about strategies and plans. I like to have
Yeah.
everything written down, covered in really good chunks of information. Because if you don't know where your audience is at or who your audience is, then you can have a branding, you can have a marketing, but you also need to know which platforms to put your word out, your advertisement, your post. Everything has to be aligned. And yeah, those are the things that I see a lot happen.
Wow, Diane, and it's so important. I'm going to go back to the first point that you made that resonates for me and that I see a lot is that lack of thought that goes into the branding aspect of your
Yeah.
marketing mix, right? And so, especially if you're going to go on social media platforms and you're going to go digital marketing, that is so important to have a grip on. And again, if I think back 20 years ago, you had to have either a small agency assist you or a graphic
Right.
designer help you. But tech has made it so easy, right? Our founders can simply use Canva, combine it with Chat GPT, and what? Yeah, yeah. You don't have to think about a whole bunch of things, right? And so that's why I love tech, and especially with the new Chat GPT that just launched last week. I mean, there's
Yeah.
just so much that you can do. So you don't even have to go and search too far. I think also YouTube is the new university. And so if you are struggling, just
Yeah.
to make sure that your branding is on point, go and search for videos on branding and just familiarize yourself with what that looks like, right? And so it's important. And the point that you made, Diane, that is so vital is so that your audience can take you seriously. Because if I hop onto Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I am very visual. I'm a very visual person. So aesthetically, it needs to be pleasing. It really
Yeah.
needs to look good before I even give it a second thought, right? And so, yeah, I'm probably not one of those marketers that buy into ugly marketing because I see that's a new trend lately. But it's just because of my personality, right?
Yeah.
I think what I'll add to that list, Diane, which is so spot on, right, would be two things for me. Number one, I think probably one of the first things that you need to do is be very clear about your value proposition. So you have your product, you have your idea, you have a new project that you're trying to launch. What is the value that you're going to be offering to customers, clients, right? That value proposition has to be so compelling that it has your customers coming back over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so once you've settled on that value proposition, then your branding comes into play, right? Or I think maybe a step before that might be knowing your customers. So you have your value proposition, but who is this value proposition targeting? Who is my customer? And you have to know this customer inside out. I
Yeah.
should be able to wake you up at 3 a.m. and go, who is your customer? And you can tell me she's between 18 and 65. She gets paid on a monthly basis. She lives in an urban area. She's into organic products. You should know your customer. And here's what I will advise you to do is to actually form a personality around that customer.
Right. A profile.
Because
Yeah, definitely.
ultimately, yeah, ultimately, marketing boils down to a feeling. Rolex doesn't sell watches, right? They sell status. And so once you know that customer, you will know what will resonate with her before you jump onto Canva, before you jump onto ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Know who she is so that your messaging, which is the other vital point that you made, Diane, so that your messaging is on point for that customer. It is crucial that you know her so that your tone, your messaging, in all of your social media assets that you'll be putting out, that it speaks to her and that it resonates and that she feels it. Right?
Yeah.
She needs to feel it because ultimately that's what
Yeah.
marketing is about. Apple doesn't sell gadgets, right? They sell ease when it comes to electronics, right? So it's the feeling that you need to create for that
Yeah.
customer based on your value proposition. That is crucial early on that you need to get a grip on. And I think, again, even if you have to take your time on this, who is your customer? And so the one thing that is a red flag for me, Diane, is when I hear founders say, everybody is my customer.
Yeah. Yeah. Then
Red
they need to do
flag.
some more work.
It's a major red flag for me. So, not everybody is your customer. So, be very clear who your customer is. And again, if we look at the Rolex example, they're very clear about who the customer is. If we look at the Rolls Royce example, right? Rolls Royce doesn't do advertising, they know who their customer is, right?
Yeah.
So very important, very important. Important. They might do product placement, but no, not yeah, Rolls Royce, not Rolex. So very, very crucial for you to have a clear understanding of who that customer is, because then
Yeah.
all of your social media assets will speak to that customer and have her feel something, right? Have her
Experience.
feel aspirational. Yeah, if it comes to a Rolex, for instance, it has you feeling, if you're not at that stage yet, okay, I need to put in the hours, I need to do the things that will have me afford a Rolex. And I'm talking original Rolex here, right? So it evokes a feeling in you. What you were saying, Diane?
Yeah, no, definitely. I always say to my clients that you need to sell an experience, because if they have certain experience buying from you, that's what makes them come back as well. It's not just making one sale. You need to make sure that they come back for the next sale as well. And you can always say, "Oh, I have 10,000 clients." That's really great, but if they're only one-off clients because they never come back, then you need to do all that effort again and again and again. Where on the other hand, if you really sell an experience and they're really like, whoa, I bought this, and there was really some aftercare, after sales, whatever, anything that gives them a great feeling, it makes them come back. It makes them create ambassadors of your brand, and they become your fans. They will rave to all their family and friends on birthdays, on whenever they see people. They say, "Oh, I just had an amazing experience. I bought from this people online. You should really check them out." That's the best commercial you can really have. I mean, you can do paid ads all you want, but if you can create that one unique experience for your client, you don't need to have paid ads. They're your walking ads, right?
Absolutely. Oh, I love that you mentioned that, Diane. So in the business model canvas, there's 9 building blocks. And I think my 3 favorite, and maybe it is because it has to do with marketing, would be your value proposition, your customer
Yeah.
segmentation, and your customer relationship. Yeah, we're not out here just hit and
Yeah.
run and go, right? That's not what, if you want to build an asset of value, it is so important for you to have a customer relationship strategy in place. How do you maintain your relationship with your customers after they have purchased? And this is where digital
Yeah.
marketing, again, just makes it so easy for you to run email campaigns to your existing customers so that you can upsell, right? And like you said, Diane, love that point that selling to your existing customers is way cheaper than trying to get new customers. And so nurture those relationships that you have. I'm sure many of our female founders listening today probably sitting on a database of email addresses that they can
Usually don't
send
even
out an
know it.
email, ask permission, because let's
Yeah.
let's just play by the rules, right? And so, in terms of copy, asking for permission for them to be added to your email marketing database, and from
Yeah.
there, it just makes it so easy for you to maintain those relationships and to upsell. I heard something the other day that really resonated, that when you sell as the founder, you've opened your business. When your employees sell, you're growing. When your customers start selling, you're scaling.
Yeah.
And that's the point that we want to get to, right? I will never forget in Afrofusion, we hardly had to spend any money on marketing because our
Yeah.
customers was spreading the word about the fact that our value proposition, which was to make them feel like they're our only client, was so compelling that they had to share it with anyone that was willing to listen, right? And so to a
Yeah.
point that I didn't know Africa's youngest billionaire, but he called us to pitch for work, right? And so your value proposition has to be that strong, tied to
Yeah.
the fact that your relationship with your existing customers has to be maintained to a point where they'll spread the word. And like you said, Diane, it comes down to the experience that they'll
Yeah.
have with you.
Yeah, for me as well. I also had in the past with my food retail business, we didn't use any money on selling. I mean, our clients were literally waiting for us to expand operationally so we could implement new clients into our business because it was so we really tailored our business around what our clients needed. We always say, our service fitted like them like a warm winter jacket. They really were comfortable. It was like, oh, perfect fit. And other businesses who also were distributing groceries and aiming for our clients, they all did it their way, and that was not what fitted the client best. So we just looked at them and saying, they do it this way, but if we do it the other way, then the client really has the feeling it's a service specifically for them. And that's why we were so successful doing it, because like I said, they were just waiting for their headquarters of the companies to say, please, can we order the groceries there, because we don't have to wait until 3 p.m. before we have sandwiches for the kids that we need at 10 in the morning. We just worked at night so our clients really could do their work during the day. I mean, how difficult is it to just fit your business around your client instead of the other way around and saying, this is what I do, this is how I work, this is my structure, and you have to fit in. No, you want to serve the client. If you serve them like a king or like a queen, make them feel that they are the most valuable that they can be. And then of course they will come back because they're happy, they feel appreciated, they feel seen. Even when something went wrong, we always said, just make it right the same day. People can make mistakes, things can go wrong when you have hundreds of orders and you need to figure it out. But it's the way that you handle the mistakes and the way that you resolve it, that's what keeps them still raving about your service even when things don't go your way.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, Diane. So important for our founders listening to us today to
Definitely.
understand that your business is not about you. Yeah, for those of
Definitely.
you that exited employment and said, I'm going to be my own boss, there's no
Yeah.
such thing. Your
Yeah.
customer is the heart of your business. And so,
Definitely.
more often than not, we see most online shopping platforms have a review process, right? Where you can leave a review. And for me now, when I go onto those platforms, I am reading the reviews because it is crucial for me to know whether or not this product works, especially if it's a new product that I'm trying out. And so you have to be open to that feedback. You have to be open to that feedback and understand that your customer is the heart of your business. Most businesses fail because they don't have a profitable, sustainable business model and they lack customers, right? And so your marketing plays such an important role. And like we said earlier on, it is now so easy for you to create that visibility around your product. Use social media. You know, if you've got a product and you need to get it out there, then I'd say Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and perhaps WhatsApp as well would probably be really good platforms for you to promote the product. But again, you know, balance it out with promoting the product, but also still creating that feeling while you're creating a community. So you're not just constantly bombarding them with buy one, get two free.
Yeah,
You know? And then
definitely.
perhaps on LinkedIn, so let's say it's a hair care product. On LinkedIn, you can talk about or share stats on the hair care industry, data around it, trends around it, how AI can possibly affect it. So there you're not selling, but you're
Yeah.
creating visibility around your business.
Yeah.
And it
And also,
also, yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
love.
in addition, a lot of entrepreneurs never think about opening like a Shopify store or something on Amazon because they say, I don't have a product, I'm a service based business. But those platforms really have a great way to support your business. As a service based business, you can also open a Shopify store. It's really cheap. They do all the things for you, and they have so many people going through their Shopify stores. If you make sure that you're visible and that your marketing, your branding is on point, it's a great way to sell as well. So not only through your own website, but also look a little bit further than just the regular and the normal things. Open your eyes also for other possibilities because it can really boost your business in that way.
Oh, I just love the fact that you mentioned that because so many founders in the service space don't really even think about having an e-commerce platform, right? And you've just, I think, unlocked so much value by mentioning that, Diane, that even as a service business, you can have an e-commerce platform on Shopify. Because the ultimate goal is to make money in your sleep, right? I think
Yeah,
for all of us, the ultimate
that's the
goal
best.
is to generate revenue while you're sleeping. And so the best way to do that is obviously, I think now where we're at, it is online. So put yourself out there, create that visibility on more platforms than I think 10 years ago, 15 years ago. There's just so much at your fingertips that you can tap into. Another stat that I heard, I think it was late last week, is that South Africans spend at least 9 hours on average online on social media platforms. The global average, I think, if I remember correctly, is 6 hours. And so,
Wow.
for the South African female founders out there, South African consumers are spending tons of time online. Create
Yeah.
that visibility online. And again, if you feel like it's not your wheelhouse and it's out of your comfort zone, get onto YouTube. Or if you have the finances available and you're really growing nicely right now, then get an expert on board that can help you. And like we said in our first episode, as part of your advisory board, perhaps have someone that has more of a digital marketing background than your
Yeah.
traditional marketing background. Yeah, I think we've given our founders quite a bit. Diane, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I still have some small thing to add for the branding because
Yeah.
when you're starting out, or even when you're already further down the line, and you never really took time to make a branding for yourself or a branding kit because you think like it's maybe too expensive because when you look around you, prices are going from very little to very high. But a great platform that you can see and get quality is Upwork or Fiverr, because those two platforms have a lot of specialized people, real professionals in the business. Usually they just want a side hustle, so they have a full-time job or a part-time job already doing that. You can leave reviews for them. People give them reviews, but they also review you as a buyer. So it works two ways. And you can see all the budgeting from all the people. So you can choose how much you want to spend. And then you can see all the quality work they already did. So you don't have to go out and think like, oh, maybe this is a scammer, or because on those platforms people are really knowledgeable, they are verified, so you won't, I don't say I don't want to say you won't get scammed, but it's very, very, very small chance that things really go wrong there. If you just look at the right profiles with people who really are rated already for a lot of work, then you know it's trustworthy, and then you can just go along with it. And I think that I wanted to add to our conversation, that they don't think like I have to go out of my way to pay for a branding, but there also are options, cheap options if you want, and you can still get a quality logo, still get a quality color branding. Yeah.
I love that. Again, just look at how easy those techies make our lives, right? I love techies. I love them.
Definitely.
They've just made our lives so easy. I think, again, compared to 20 years ago, it really has become significantly more seamless to
Yeah.
scale and to
Definitely.
manage your marketing activities seamlessly. So use what you have at your fingertips. Listen, this journey is not easy. You, yeah, it's not easy. So don't make it even more difficult on yourself, right?
Exactly. Don't
Use what is
overcomplicate.
available. Yes, I am.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I'm going to encourage you, female founders, use what you have at your fingertips. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because, there's no use in me getting all dressed up on a Friday evening in my little black dress and my heels, and I'm all prettied up, right? And I'm sitting on my couch, but I want to find a man. That's not going to happen.
Exactly.
So you might have an amazing product, but you have to create visibility around it. So put yourself out there. That's my
Definitely.
final word for today, Diane. What else do you have to say?
I think you've said it all. I think it's a really nice closure to this subject for today. And yeah, I think we gave them a lot of gems again today. And I would really like to hear everybody's comment. And if they're excited for our live, because we're going to do a live soon. And then everybody can just tune in and comment and ask questions. And yeah, I think it will be very exciting. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here. So stay tuned for the date on the lives, and please send us your feedback on episode 1
Definitely.
and 2.
Great.
Diane, I love that we're having these conversations